Now that the deadline has come and gone, it is time to fairly judge. And you think of who did best. I mean, the Jets, they got Tyler Toffoli. Oh, yeah, the Vegas Golden Knights, they got Tomas Hertl. And those are just the deals done today. So even thinking of what teams did leading up to deadline, I think of Jake Guentzel going to Carolina last night. Who do you think the biggest winner is at trade deadline?
I think I have two. I think it's the Colorado Avalanche, who did a fantastic job, bringing in some new life, new players, like a new identity for the Avalanche. Not to mention they're, complemented with some of the best players in the league. I think Colorado's ready to roll, and probably are going to face possibly the Vegas Golden Knights, who it's unbelievable how many guys they can bring into that fold.
It's unbelievable in terms of pricing.
Yes.
I love what Winnipeg did, even if it's only the I guess want to call it single move. They picked up Colin Miller, who's a great serviceable defenseman, but picking up Tyler Toffoli, like one of their only criticisms this year was scoring goals, and you pick up an absolute stud, clutch goal scorer. I think that's huge for their hockey club. If I'm looking at, did we say disappointments?
Not yet.
Not
we
yet.
won't get there. I was going to say,
because I got one ready.
But think with Kevin Cheveldayoff too, like Sean Monahan. That's a deadline.
Yeah, and if you go back to Monty as well, you got help down the middle of the ice. Now you got a goal scorer. They got a little bit of help on their back end to add to an already really good hockey team. I think they knew that they needed help in that Central Division getting out of there. I mean, winning the division will be huge, but Winnipeg got better today, and there's not a ton of teams that you can say that about.
And scoring.
I like Carolina. I like what they did. I think, their Achilles heel in the playoffs have been not scoring that big goal, not having that game breaker to come out and score for them, and to pick up Guentzel and then to pick up Kuznetsov. People that have been there, guys that have been there, won cups. I think it's two great pickups, and I think with their work ethic, and we were talking about their structure as a team, I think they're going to do very well.
Doesn't it feel, we were talking in the green room throughout the day, doesn't it feel like Tarasenko will kind of go off for the Panthers? Now Kuznetsov will kind of find his game again in Carolina. Just, you're on a contender now, 100%. Fresh start, time to get going.
Something to prove, a little motivation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He's sent down, that's a little bit embarrassing, I think. I think he's going to, pick up his game, and obviously he's a playoff guy, and he wants to win, so I think it's going to be great.
Okay, Luke, you're itching for it. Biggest disappointment, and I'm not going to say disappointment on the day, but more so, who's a team who you wish they would have done more?
I think the LA Kings. I think everybody in the Pacific Division, at least near the top, got better. Vegas got better. Vancouver's been getting better. Edmonton got better. Even Nashville got better. And I know there were some talks about Allmark being brought in, but ultimately the deal didn't get done. They needed help in net. I just think that was a team that needed just a little bit to help get over the edge. And it's going to be really tough, not only to get out of the Pacific, but to get out of the West. And they didn't really make anything happen.
Yeah, LA's going to have to, they're patient. They have to trust their players and the team they have. They started the season incredibly well. They've had a little bit of a cold spell. Maybe they can find that magic once again. But for me, it's not even about trade deadline. It's probably more about the length and how good the Pittsburgh Penguins have been, how relevant they've been in the NHL for a long time. And you see Sidney Crosby, disappointed the other night. I'm disappointed. The Pittsburgh Penguins, they're entering a rebuild. They've got some great players. They got a lot of money tied up in Letang and Carlson. You've got Malkin and Crosby, and we may not be seeing them in the postseason for a long while.
Ever again, maybe.
Well,
right?
maybe. Who knows? But it certainly doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, I'm going Islanders. My Uncle Len is a big Islanders fan, and he's probably sitting there throwing something at the TV right now. But I'm going to have to say Islanders. I think we were talking about a while ago how it's been 4 years. Lou Lamoriello hasn't pulled the trigger at the deadline, and they're right there. They've got 2 games in hand. They're 2 points away from a playoff spot, and they don't do anything. To me, that's a little bit of a disappointment right there.
You mentioned how dejected Crosby was last night after the Guentzel trade, and then Vlasic on Twitter, when Hertl was traded from the Sharks, the crying emoji. Who's more disappointed, Vlasic or Crosby?
It looked like Sid yesterday. I think the big panel did a good job of saying that. I've never seen him so dejected in my career, but I think Vlasic's just more upset that he did not get traded from the team.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that. That's tough to play on a team like that and to lose big pieces from their team that's already not playing well. Now it's going to be a tough time for the San Jose Sharks for a couple of years down the road.
I just want to see Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang. I want them to actually be supported. I know they've had a heck of a run, and who knows where it leads, but I thought Pittsburgh maybe could have done something.
I just wanted to see Crosby with McKinnon, but as Craig Conroy said, this is not a fantasy world.